I reckon it's the greatest win since the 1999 semi-final against South Africa. As soon as we won that game and you lost the game 4 hours later against France, we'd won the World Cup.
I'd like to see some proof that, I predicted the Wallabies were going to dick them by 20-something points. I thought the Wallabies had come back.
Despite what I said on your show, and I see it's been repeated and people are climbing into me and they can get stuffed, I don't really care.
DSPN, the Devlin Sports Podcast Network.
Every now and again on this show, we get predictions right. Every now and again. Last week, Marto Martin, former Wallaby fullback, Triple M breakfast toast out of Brisbane. Last week, you said this.
It's impossible to beat the Buggers because they've got three teams that on paper are stronger than us. Everybody knows with 25 to go, anyone who's played at Ellis Park would know with 25 to go, it feels like someone's knifed your lungs. It's just horrific. We'll be struggling enough up to that point, and then when they throw that whole pack on, we're in a fair bit of trouble. James O'Connor will be at 5'8". We're no chance whatsoever.
Now, to be fair to you, mate, there's not a single person living on this earth who can genuinely say, I'd like to see some proof that, I predicted the Wallabies were going to dick them by 20-something points. I thought the Wallabies had come back at 22-0 down after 17 minutes. I knew that we were going to absolutely monster them in the second half. Load of bollocks, mate. How good was that?
It was incredible. Now, can I just say, I put $10 on them because I always have had a theory, gamble responsibly, children. I've always had a theory in a two-horse race where one of the horses isn't a donkey. If they're over $5, you got to have a go. Anything's possible, despite what I said on your show, and I see it's been repeated and people are climbing into me and they can get stuffed. I don't really care. Because I was a realist. That's a good performance against the Lions was translating, and at 22-0 down, I almost turned the TV off. It was whatever time it was, 1:30 by that stage, and we got that little try before halftime. What went on? There's something. It's as if they were paid by someone who was gambling on Australia to slow down. The South Africans just lost all their speed. That's what's supposed to happen. The lung-busting conditions at Johannesburg were supposed to knock us around. Somehow it knocked them around. So I don't apologise to the Wallabies. If they heard, and the Wallabies aren't listening to my chat with you each week.
No, that's right.
But if it motivated them, bloody hell, I'm so proud because I was so proud. It was wonderful. I don't give us any hope this weekend in Cape Town.
Same. See this, isn't that? So here we are after that resounding win.
I know.
And both of us will say the same thing, the Boks are going to win again. But let's just go back to that because we've been talking about this all week. I think it was the best result for international rugby in years because it pricked the balloon. The aura of invincibility is gone, and everyone can point to that now. How important a victory for Australia, and I clocked it back to 2001, mate, in that Lions series and winning the Bledisloe against us, the end of the John Eales era. So in your mind, though, how significant that win, and also how great a win since when?
All right, I reckon that era, we won the World Cup in 91. Then we had a bit of trouble in 95. We thought Australia rugby was in trouble. It was in trouble. 96, 97, 98, we were in trouble. Rod McQueen takes over. I reckon it's the greatest win since the 1999 semi-final against South Africa. It's our greatest win against South Africa since the 1999. As soon as we won that game and you lost the game 4 hours later against France, we'd won the World Cup. So similar sort of feeling in terms of against South Africa. It was a miracle. You heard Sean Maloney calling those last two tries. Great call. He lost his voice. He couldn't believe it because no one believed it. Yeah. It was simply stunning. And you're right. But you know what? People on Sunday during the day, people who didn't wait up for it, because it was on 1 until 3 o'clock over here. So people started finding out about it Sunday during the day. It took until, if you're wandering around anywhere, guys at the servo. Guys, I've been talking about this with you for years. Disconnected, old rusted-on fans were disconnected, but all of a sudden, did you hear about the Wallabies everywhere on Sunday? And then Monday went crazy. Oh, what about them Wallabies? What about your Wallabies?
Your Wallabies, yeah.
Not my Wallabies. Oh, mate, it was terrific. And then next step up, of course, is to beat you guys. And that's when rugby truly becomes gargantuan again here in Australia. That's what it takes. I keep saying to you because there's so many Kiwis over here.
Yep.
Yes, South Africa's great. Yes, Lions was good. but you're the Everest. To keep beating you guys consistently, that's when Australian rugby's great.
How good was it just seeing that, we've talked about this a bit, mate, and that, rugby, the one game in the world for all shapes and sizes, and, league has started to become every player's the same size, and rugby's leaning that way too, where you've just got to be these big guys like we saw the South African backs. How good to see a couple of nippy little whippets, light on their feet, sitting big guys on their backside and just beating them with sheer pace. How good.
That's right. Well, it kept happening, and it showed. I know Rassie's made 10 changes this weekend. A couple of them were injury enforced, but James O'Connor was beating tackles with evasion rather than just bludgeon. And we've probably got too many rugby league consultants. I know in rugby in Australia we do, who just want to go, the non-risk averse, just bludgeon the opposition to into submission. Whereas we've now got people who actually have evasive skills. So. Oh, long live rugby, because the style of rugby we've seen, and that's what I'm saying to you, it's engaging fans in because they're going, rugby league's a little bit predictable. Of course rugby league's predictable. You count to 5. Well, have we scored a try yet? No. Oh, kick it.
Oh, here we go.
That's rugby league. They're trying to make it fancier than what it is, whereas rugby at every single contact is a contest for possession, and that's what makes it beautiful. I don't know, the referees are helping a little bit, I think, but also the attitude of the players was
At what stage during that game were you in front of the TV and you've given it some of that? What stage did you do that?
I was. No, just sit down. I was not doing that.
You were so. 2 tries, the last 2 tries at that stage, Maloney was going off. Every Aussie watching was going off.
Oh, mate. It was incredible. What did you see, like even in the commentary box with Sean Maloney with Michael Hooper, and Morgan Tiranu, 2 former Wallabies, one of them a captain. They did not move. Like I started to get blown up because I'm an old commentator. I used to get excited at everything. But I noticed they didn't move until that last try was scored. They finally went crazy and went, hold on.
Hang on.
We're going to do, because we're so used to getting mowed down in the last 15 minutes.
And you're doing the numbers, you're going, hang on, 38-22, that means they've got to score three tries in a minute? No, they're not going to do.
We can't get beaten. It was incredible. It was incredible. And there was houses there. Oh, it was rugby. You're a beautiful beast.
But we still both think that South Africa bounced back in Cape Town.
Of course they will, because they'll go back to you saw how loose they were in the first half. That played into our hands. Look how easy it's trying.
Yeah, offloading here, offloading there.
What do you reckon? How many bombs do you reckon they'll put up? How many? The bomb squad 6. If they got the 6-2 split again on the bench, they'll just put up the box kicks and they'll just try to bludgeon us. We're not real good under the high ball. I'm sure they know that.
I don't think we are either.
Hopefully that's what we've been working on. I'd rather see Suaalii at fullback in defence in this week, so I'm sure it won't happen. All I'm going to say, they'll beat us because it worked last week.
And Pollard is back, and you know what he does? He just kicks the goal.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Kicks the goal.
Hold on. Yeah. Their highest is Eban Etzebeth. Am I wrong? I think Eban Etzebeth. Is he their highest capped player? He's on the reserves bench. Does that tell you what they've got themselves?
Okay, one technical thing here, and I thought that he, to me, summed up what was wrong with the Boks. Normally that guy, he's the size of a small mountain. He runs forward, he drives into you, he takes 3 or 4 guys with him, you then suck all of those players in around that. This time he was running up, turning around and offloading, so you don't have to tackle him. I mean, he was, and that was the key difference, wasn't it? All of a sudden, you just have to put your hands up, stop him, and he turned around, and so they lost all of that.
Let's touch on that. You want to talk about the sudden rise, maybe, of the Joe Smith inspired Wallabies? But is it time to have the Springboks hit that plateau? Of course, they have been on it for a while. All teams have it, mate, because upstairs you don't work. Upstairs you think you're so good, you just have to go on the field and it's of course at 22-0.
Yeah, laughing.
And also physically you stop working as hard. I think South Africa may have lost the hunger. That could be the turning point last weekend.
Here we go. Here come the comments. See, that's what we need, mate. It's called engagement, okay? You've just added another 200 to it, okay? So thanks for that.
Well, I didn't mean to. I don't want to upset South Africans. I upset every bloody one else on my radio
Let's talk league, okay? Because we'll finish on this. Your Broncos beat your Dolphins.
Yes.
At one stage here, I thought in the second half that you're gone. I thought your season was over at that stage, and then the the Broncos come roaring back. So I've got some numbers here for you. Broncos last 4 games: lost 1, lost 1. Dolphins lost 1, 1, lost. Broncos 30 points in 6th spot. Dolphins 26th. They're in 9th. Broncos have got Knights, and then you've got Storm is your last game, so that's going to be bloody tough. Dolphins, Manly, Titans, and Raiders. You got Knights, Cowboys, Storm, Manly, Titans, and Raiders for the Dolphins. These are the key numbers. Over the last 4 years, to make top 4, you need 36 points. That means the Broncos would have to win out and hope the other teams lose. The Dolphins, to make top 8, you need 32. They're going to have to win out and maybe hope some other teams lose. Your prediction from here for both teams, after all of that information?
Dolphins will finish 9th. That was very convoluted from you, Marty.
Sorry.
Dolphins will finish 9th. Broncos will finish around 6th. And I think that means the most likely opposition will be the Sharks, but it'll be here at 200 metres down the road here at Suncorp Stadium. So, mate, don't worry. I've got a mad rugby league producer. Every morning this week, he's given me his different version of the run home. I said,
right.
Anyway. Could you imagine? That's what we still talk around here. Rugby league is the currency.
Yep.
So I've had every scenario mapped out for me, etc. So most likely Broncos will finish in 6th, Dolphins 9th, then they'll play the Sharks, who will finish 7th.
You'll win that game. You win the game. You win that game. I think you'll beat them.
We'll win that game because there'll be 52,000 people at Suncorp.
Yep.
And then we'll have to go to Sydney and play someone. Well, the Broncos are probably the 4th or 5th best team. They'll get knocked out the 2nd or 3rd week. Oh, hold on. I'm stopping to tip football. I'm not doing any more tipping.
How did it go? How'd it go with the old rod and reel over the weekend?
Oh, mate, what a weekend. Did I do the show last? Yeah, I was in amongst it last weekend.
Yeah, you were, yeah. You're in your shed, remember? You had your shed. You had all the stuff in the background. You had chainsaws, you had fishing rods, you had all that.
Yes, righto. There were a lot of old drunk men, and I probably told you there was 25 of them, and only 6 of them put a rod in the water. Oh, it's been a bit cold. I said, try going over to New Zealand and fishing with your legs in the water. But a great time was had by all. They're all very ill by the end of it because they forget that they're nearly 60 or under, or just under.
Right.
They're still carrying on like 22-year-olds.
Yeah, I know. We're stupid, aren't we? God, we're stupid. Why do we get more
Do you know what a gummy
stupid?
is? There were blokes popping these gummies and all sorts of things.
What?
Jesus. These young people. Well, they were 59.
Springbok green, mate. There's a reason for that.
No, that's an awful... That's a Wallaby green. That's our other jersey.
This is the DSPN.